What's going on, everybody? Vortex here, and it is time to get into my first top 8 match from the Vortex Gallery 2021. It was against the RookHugger in the upper side of the bracket, so without further ado, let's get into it. One thing I will note as soon as we get into the first match here is this character selection right here of Midori. So, RookHugger is not known for Midori play. I think this had something to do with what he perceives to be the matchup spread against the team he expected me to play. And even though I tried to veil my picks in terms of requesting blind pick and all that stuff, I didn't actually have any intention of really switching teams unless I lost. Then I might have considered it. But because I have been practicing with this team for a while and playing it, I assume he thinks that this was sort of a meta counter pick. We'll see how it goes, but in general, in my opinion, the way Team Battle was designed was to let you just play the characters you think you're the best at and not worry too much about what the opponent selected. And I believe that that holds up, and that was my mentality. So, we'll see what happens. All right, so one thing about RookHugger that I should note early on, I think I might actually slow the speed down to 0.75 in general, so I have a little more time to talk. But one thing I want to note about the way the RookHugger plays is he is very committed to passive play, lots of neutral jumps, lots of reacting, usually doesn't press forward, and usually is looking for you to get impatient and then capitalize on that. So I know this. I played RookHugger at least 50, if not 100 times. I don't know. It's way up there. So there's nothing new here. I'm not going to be surprised. It's just about who can execute their game plan better. So one thing, I'm doing long range pokes mainly as a way of feeling him out, not committing to a jump. Even though I can mix up jumps against Midori with DeGray, you can do jump A or jump B, and he can't parry both with the same timing, so it's totally viable to jump at him. However, it's not good to jump at him if he's just doing his neutral jump stuff, because you'll just run into the neutral jump A, and at that point the mix-up train starts. So I'm just trying to see if he's going to just jump up and down. Maybe I can catch him with that forward A shoulder poke into 3 damage. So far I land a random stray hit, but really nothing is happening. There, I get the hit confirm. I'm just going to back that up. So I did this all the time in the tournament, which is, oh, that's weird. The ghost kind of bugs out. Interesting. So I have ghost here, even though it doesn't look like it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so anytime I see the opponent jump and the ghost is coming, I know it's hidden, so I'm immediately going right into the step into the 2 damage. Try to get the juggle there, don't get it. That's a safe jump. That's a 50-50 mix. That is also a 50-50 mix. I could have punished the parry. I don't, but it's okay. I mean, in general, my mindset is if I'm up, let's lower the risk. Try to play more slowly. See if he'll overcommit trying to make a comeback, which he should actually. When you're losing by a lot, you need to take big risks, which is why I think when you're winning by a lot, you should really play passive and expect something wild out of the opponent. In this case, I just kind of catch a jump with a forward A to close the round, but it could have been anything, really. I actually had no intention of doing anything off of that. If he jumps at me, it's actually not great. I might be able to react with justice kicks, but I also might not, depending on what happens and how it works out. And he could potentially dodge it, or if I don't react in time, maybe I whiff a dagger fall or something like that, and then I end up getting 3 damage combo or a 2 damage combo and knockdown against me. So I was really doing that just to try to force him to react, see if he'll parry it, trying to learn what he wants to do in response to that. Because I assumed he wouldn't jump at me at the start of the round, but just in case he did, I really didn't have any intention of following that up. I would have been able to block in time. And then I get caught by a random B kick, which is funny. He just hard read the ghost, so good job. So because I know Shabs likes to jump all day, I am always, whenever I have meter, just looking to jump in super, and I think I landed quite a few times. This is really great. So I think this is a bad dragon transform because I have the pressure here, and if dragon transform is not actively pressuring Midori's opponent, I think it's kind of a waste. I understand in this case he can use it to escape a mix-up. However, I think in most matchups at least, I guess it's a bit matchup dependent, but in most matchups, Midori is disfavored in human form by enough that you need to open up the opponent with the dragon transform. You need to get the momentum with it and then steamroll them because you got to knock down, whether it's a grab or a sweep or something. If you're just using the dragon to escape pressure, then you're risking not getting anything done with your dragon, and in that case, when is your advantage? I don't know. There, I got cheeky. I was hoping he was going to go for a, I guess, a C-throw or nothing, and I try to get aggressive. Maybe I just was hoping he wouldn't think I would get aggressive, because I definitely tend to back off against dragon players, but that was probably just a bad call. And especially because I don't play against RookHugger's Midori a lot, he wouldn't know that I always back off. So that was like kind of a weird meta play that I just did, and it just sucked. So that was super lucky. He safe jumped me, but didn't react. Or maybe, I mean, it was a counter hit, so he must have tried to throw or neutral A, I'm guessing. So it was just a bad reaction on his part. I actually should have gotten owned for that, and instead I don't, and it's a huge blowout. That is really easy to react to, especially with the extra hit stop from the jump A. So that what he just did is just not, it's not a viable option unless he's hard reading that I'm empty jump throwing. But I think with that timing, with how early my jump was, I might have been able to empty jump throw and then still jump out. Just don't wake up with C like that. It's just really not good. Nice scoop out of my neutral A. Could have jump supered that. That was so stupid. I actually thought I could punish him. I don't know why. That was just stupid. Huge error and very costly. Yep. And there, that might look silly. It might look like, wait, why did I just stand there and take the auto throw? If he goes for a normal throw to stop my jump out, then I would Yomi counter and could potentially win. So basically, I had to decide, is he going to let the auto throw complete and let me jump out, or is he going to try to throw me to deny my ability to jump out? So it might look weird that I just take an auto throw and die, but it actually is a 50-50. It's just one that heavily favors Midori, and there's just nothing I can do about that. There we go. Get another. Find the jump. Empty jump. So there you can come down with neutral A as a safe jump, and Midori just has to block it. So while it is a risk to do the empty jump into throw, it's fine. You can mix it in. I wouldn't do it all the time, but it's fine. Try to cross up there, but I miss it. But I do get the pressure into another throw. And there I get the cross up, but he blocks it. I'm going to rewind that just so you guys can see how to execute that. So throw. Watch what I do. Back up like a smidge. I actually backed up a little too much, so I moved back forward a little, or return forward a little bit. And then you can get this really, look at that. Look where it hits. Bad players or newer players or people that haven't seen that, they're never blocking that. You're just going to destroy them with that. So it's really powerful. An expert player like RookHugger knows about this, but it's still really good. There, I'd thrown him so much that he was expecting the throw, and I just catch him with the ghost, which is my highest payoff after the first neutral A. So great mix up. It just, it's part of the gig. That was again risky, but RookHugger, I think, was not expecting that step. You can react to that, not necessarily in time to punish it. Like, I'm not saying that a Midori is going to be able to see, oh my god, he stepped, and immediately like sweep or something, but he could react to the fact that step is happening and then either go for a parry or maybe a neutral A if he thinks it's an empty step. something, but RookHugger's just kind of stunned, and then I managed to sneak the throw in there, and that's death because nothing Midori can do about that right there. So against Midori, your throws as the Gray usually deal 2 damage. It's very devastating. Sorry, if it's the last 2 health, they deal 2 damage. Okay, here comes another wasted one, and look at this. I just get him with the... He's jumping. I get to smack him. Pressure. Go for a cheeky throw. Bad ghost. He gets me with the scoop. I'm playing aggressive again. I'm assuming he's trying to bait me, just knowing how RookHugger likes to play. So I'm being a little over-aggressive. Honestly, all of the attacking I'm doing is all bad for the most part. You do need to mix in some offense against the dragon, though. You can't just sit there, or you will eventually just die. So you have to mix in some counter poking. However, the ones I'm doing are kind of ill-conceived, and they're not timed well, and I'm just getting blown up for it. C-throw is just... honestly, I just reacted to that, just straight up. So I don't know. I don't have faith in it. I think you got to put your opponent in some block stun first. Make them think about other things. Like, neutral A into C-throw, to me, is much more devastating because there's more to think about with the neutral A happening. You know, for example, you could just follow it up with the second hit, and if I don't keep blocking, if I'm not worried about that, then I just get knocked down, and it's really bad. Or you could neutral A into normal throw, or you can neutral A into reset, neutral A again. It's just, I feel like you have so many more options just going right into the C-throw. Catch him with that ghost. That's really bad for him. And there. So I really expected that to be a parry. I don't know if that was a punish, or maybe he thought I was going to walk up and try to double A, but either way, I just, again, 2 life Midori, that's death. It's over. Yeah, he just takes it. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he takes it or not. It's the same thing. I don't know if it's going to try to slow down the mid-screen thing, so I'm going to speed that back up, and we'll put it back. I think the 0.75 helps. Oh, God. I don't even want to analyze this. I'm so sick of this. I've had to play against the RookHugger in this match so many times. It is not my favorite. It's very, very random. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there's not skill to it. Of course there is, but the outcome feels so swingy. I guess just as a general thing, so there's only a few things that Valerie really is looking to do to Valerie in neutral. You can try to press forward with the colors, 3 colors. However, the range is limited, as funny as that sounds, because it's such a high range move. In this match, the range of that is limited. You have forward A as an even longer range poke, which is great. And then you have jumping. So you can neutral jump to counter the opponent's 3 colors, or to potentially counter their forward jump, or you have forward jump to punish the forward A. So it's kind of like this, it's not really a triangle because they don't all directly counter each other, but, and also spacing and timing is just so relevant here, but it's all so fast that you don't really react to it. You're more playing on feel and guessing. So it's like, it's kind of like you're always in a 50-50 weird situation. Anyway, let's just see what happens. So I jump there, and wrong reaction. So against I'm going to back that up. Against me whiffing here, what he should do is stay back, let me land. So he moved into this. He did not have to get hit by this. Let me land. You can't punish it, but you can make me block cyan magenta. And then finish it with a yellow, finish it with a rainbow, go for a cheeky cross-up, whatever. You can get your 1 damage. That's your reward for the opponent whiffing jump AA. That's the reward. It's not, you don't get to anti-air it unless you have super. And instead, I just get a huge combo. I go for a yellow, which was not really a good choice. And then he goes for the cheeky neutral A yellow. I really don't recommend doing that in this match. I think it's a bad play, but it'll work once. Catch him. That was huge. So, again, that right there, the reason I did that, that's just me figuring, it's Shabs, or RookHugger goes by Shabs on Discord. It's RookHugger. He's going to jump. So I'm just going to pick the move that beats jump, which is rainbow. And there you go. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And keep in mind, this might look a little slow. This is remember this 0.75 speed. This crap is so fast. It's ridiculous. Back A is some nonsense. So yeah, the empty jump there. The thing about the empty jump there is he gets me here. However, my options for dealing with the empty jump are really, really lame. Once you have super, if you jump at the other Valerie, if you just do late rainbow disc, there's very little Valerie can do about it. So your options are to hope she doesn't do it and then do a late cyan anti-air, which will hit her if she doesn't do the rainbow disc. But if she does it, you get dunked and destroyed. So that's bad. Or you just take it and then you're just getting chipped by rainbow disc, which isn't the end of the world, but it's not great. However, what I did is not really a response. You don't do this. You either do the late cyan or you take it. So I get punished for that. Block it. So yeah, that's right there. That's what happens when you go for this cheeky yellow. You get smacked for 2 damage. It's really bad. Don't do it. Like honestly, like maybe once in a whole match do that. Don't. You can't spam that. It's just garbage. See right there was the interaction I was talking about. He whipped and then I got him to block a cyan. I didn't do the whole series because I can't guarantee the 1 damage because he has super. So because I can't guarantee the 1 damage, I'm not really too worried about doing one, whether it's cyan or cyan magenta, because either way I can't just guarantee the chip. If I go for rainbow or yellow, he could just super me. And there he just YOLOs it, that's a 2 damage punish. Yeah, I can't YOLO it. There it is. That's what you're looking for. So that was really smart. So he actually gets the 1 chip the really smart way, which is to do a cyan reset. Very sketchy to try to challenge that. If you see your opponent doing it enough, you can. But again, that's another little cheeky Val tactic that you're going to get away with, a couple times here and there. I whiff. That was really risky. I could have gotten smacked there. He does it again, and then I push. See, again, this is all just kind of guessing. I catch him jumping. That's legit. That could have been supered. There's the disc. I wonder what happens if I try to jump C out of there. I don't think it's good, so I didn't do it. Instead, I take a bunch of chip. Block everything, whatever. It's really not good, though. Get my damage back. He smacks me. That's really bad, because one health is not great. And then I flub it. He just patiently backed off. It's kind of interesting how much he was willing to just back off, but hey, good play. I mean, he just kind of baits me and gets me. And then I whiff double forward A. I double forward A a lot, so he probably just read me there. It's just one of my tendencies. I like doing the same move if you're still in the range to get hit by it. But he just had a great timing on it. Get my chip damage, and then he goes for it. But this one's not as good. That was silly. So I actually knew he was going to do that, and I just thought that my early jump A would hit it, and it just didn't. So I was really kind of salty about that because I 100,000% knew that was coming, and I just did not pick the right counter. If I stay grounded, I don't really have a good answer because I don't have super, and Val's anti-air against a big hitbox like that is actually not great. I could get under it, but then there's the disc. So yeah, anyway, either way, when that ends, I mean, I'm dead. So no way out if I don't have super. Neutral jump's very hard to punish, if not impossible. Yes, he does it again. Makes me land on that side magenta. Doesn't take the full damage, though. I go for a cheeky throw. Get my damage back. Ooh, tag his jump. I think he was trying to do the jump disc stuff. Tag him again. Looking great. I have a huge lead here, but as we'll see, it gets a lot more dicey. Yeah, he catches me. Doesn't confirm, but gets a big throw. And now, at 5 points of chip, Val can deal this in a disc. The only problem is I have super. If I didn't have super, I'm actually dead. I'm literally dead if I don't have super. But because I have super, he actually still has to mix me up. So I have to take it. And then here, yep, that's... I could have thrown this, but... I mean, come on now. I'm going to press the super. It's a chaotic situation. I'm going to press my invul move. And there you go. Make it out alive. All right, and then last but not least, so this matchup of Argagarg versus DeGray. The thing about this match is DeGray has to make guesses all the time. Really, both players do. Arg can kind of react. However, if you only try to react, then you could just get walked down and then cornered and then obliterated. Once you're in the corner, it's not good, especially if you don't have super. It's actually a disaster if you don't have super. If you have super, it's okay. But if that gets baited, then once again, it's a disaster. So DeGray is just trying to pick what he thinks Argarg's going to do and then do the counter to it. It's kind of as simple as that. It's definitely one of those matches where sometimes DeGray has the hot hand and is guessing right and just blows Arg to smithereens. And other times Arg has the good reactions or the good predictive measures to stifle DeGray, and it looks really good the other way. So very, very back and forth match in general. So River opening is going to beat him trying to ghost. Well, sorry, beat is a bit of an exaggeration, but you can get away with it safely is what I mean if he opens with ghost. Or in this case, if he just does absolutely nothing at all, which I think is not a good play at all. So don't do that. I don't think. I don't see how that's advantageous at all to just stand there against Arg. So he just backed himself to full screen. So yeah, I'm gonna throw a poison out when you're. I mean, if you're zoning yourself, yeah, great. And that's a free. So this goldfish is a neutral goldfish. If you want to play DeGray or Arg at a high level, you got to be able to place this. So I already know for a fact that this gonna catch him. That's anti-air right there. That didn't. That wouldn't have worked the same way if I did either of the other two. So you have to be able to control the goldfish to play Arg at a high level. But yeah, that's free. And now he's poisoned, took a damage, and is flipping out into my bluefish. Does have the ghost though, so it wasn't that great. There it is. There's just a jump. That's a guess, and it's a good guess. Catch him back though. Ghost eats the goldfish. That's unfortunate. This is a free bubble pop. Nothing he can do. I missed, but hit there. Yeah, I mean, you got to guess, right? You got to just swing for it, and he did. And I just happened to have the reaction in time. Again, nothing at the start. It's just not a good play. It's actually a really disastrously bad play, and you should not do that. I see the step. I just go right into bubble shield. Knew I didn't have to pop it there, and then I 2 damage. Yeah. So do not jump at Arg who has bubble shield unless you're 100% sure that he's about to throw a bluefish. So I have bubble shield up. Step ends. I land, and I guess he was hoping I was going to land and then immediately throw a bluefish. I don't know. It seems kind of questionable to me, but yeah, this just gets you rocked for 2 damage. It's the worst 2 damage too. So you get combo for 2, and you're waking up into a special. It's a disaster, and this is a shit show. This is really annoying. So I could have back aid this. However, when you're max screen, it actually comes up later in the tournament. We'll see it versus Janet, I think. But when you're max screen, you actually have to delay the back A a tiny bit, and it's actually really annoying. Because if you delay it just slightly too much, you get freaking counter hit and die. And if you do it immediately, the active frames just run out before he hits you. So I'm like, I'm so ahead. I'll just block, whatever, no biggie. Oops, cross up. Thanks for playing. So stupid, whatever. But he didn't notice me like sneak under here. I do a little cheeky, just back up a little bit and smack him in the face. I don't know. I thought it was hilarious. I knew that was going to hit, by the way. Just one of those little fun notes. I just 100% sure that back A was just going to hit him. Good job. Yeah, it gets through my forward A. This is really terrifying. Now I have super, so now I'm a little more confident. He tags me with that for no reason. I don't really know what I was doing. That was so cheeky, but hey, he's losing by a lot. I accept it. That was really cheeky, and you probably shouldn't do that. But hey, if it works, it works. Yeah, that's just doom. I mean, I'm gonna get chipped out or something. Once again, nothing. Just still not good at all. Now here, the reason why I was really hesitant to do a special is he can actually just full screen jump super me. It's pretty obnoxious. So I have to be really careful about letting him know that I'm not going to do a special. And then he decides, he gives up looking for the jump super and he starts doing something else, and then I do the special, right? So, which I coax him into losing focus on it, and then I sneak it in. But and also just note that all this backing up and all this stuff he's doing has let me build another super. And I just pop it here. So, when I talked about Midori, I talked about how you really want to use the transformation to get an advantage. While it's also true with Arg that you want to use your bubble shield, normally in his case it's more defensively. You want to use it to get out of a mix-up or out of pressure, or even better to counter the pressure. It's also unique in that you actually build super while you have a bubble on. So if I'm confident that I can keep my opponent out for a while, if I'm in a good spot, I can just activate the bubble just to stock up more super. And in this case, I'm thinking, I think I'm fine. I think I'm going to keep him zoned for a little while. I just want to build more super, because if I get a second super, mostly charged while this bubble's still on, the game's over. Of course, he baits me, so well played. He does a nice little shimmy. It just gets me. That was an unsafe jump B. It just kind of sails over me. If he waited a little longer, it would have made contact, but he does it early, and it just sailed over my head. So that's a throw punish. This is looking pretty bad. So again, forward A there instead of B, because if I B there, he could just jump super me. Lands in the poison. Has a chance here. I understand he wants the biggest reward, but I just can't agree with it. I think you got to try to throw there. Because even if this hits, I'm not mashing. I'm either Yomi countering or not. And if I Yomi counter, I'm gonna get hit for one here. Whatever. I don't even get hit for one. I do block, but catch him and then catch him again. I didn't even need to do that forward A. I should have just pressed super and just chilled. But I kind of just knew it would work, so whatever. And anyway, that was a very narrow 3-0. Well, at least narrow in some respects, and maybe a little less so in others. But either way, it was definitely a hard-fought win. It always is. However, I will say, just in summary, I did open with it, but I want to close with it because I think it's really important. If you are playing in a big tournament versus the best players, you need to pick what you are the best at. Counter-picking is great, and it's really clever in 1v1 if you are an expert in the counter. However, if you're not an expert in the counter, or if it's not 1v1 format and it's team battle format, I think that's all garbage. And I think it caused RookHugger to have a worse chance against me. Not to go too much into the next video, but I also think it caused Rogue Yoshi to have a worse chance against me as well. And then Janet just playing Janet's composition. Janet, I think in the Discord, when we were getting ready to pair, just say, yeah, I'm just going to play my normal crap, whatever, do whatever you want. And I'm like, yeah, me too, whatever. There's no counter picking here. We're just going to pick what we're good at and see who wins, And, well, it worked out for us. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you were able to take something away from this, and I will see you in the next match.